Hey, so 4 days ago I got LASIK, and for most of last month I spent a ton of time doing a lot of research into refractive eye surgery in general. I learned a lot, and I figured this info would be super helpful for anyone else considering LASIK or a LASIK alternative. I also contacted 9 different specialists here in New York City and had in-person consultations with 5 of them. So if you live in New York, I'll break down my personal experience with each one and compare pricing to help better inform your own journey in 2024. Before we move on, obviously I am not a medical professional. If there's one thing I learned from this experience, it's that there's a lot of noise and conflicting advice out there, not just on the internet, but also from the professionals and clinics themselves. Some clinics only offer certain procedures, so they may be more incentivized to push you towards whatever they specialize in. That being said, almost all of these LASIK clinics offer consultations for free. So if you're considering your own surgery, go to as many consultations as you can and make your own informed decisions. So I'm going to my first LASIK consultation today.
Please exit through the rear door.
I'm by Hudson Yards right now. Consult number 1 is at my regular eye doctor that I've been going to for a few years. I've never had any issues there, loved it, and they actually do the LASIK consultation themselves and partner with this clinic to do the surgery. So I figured it's a good first place to start. Someone I trust, someone I know is pretty reliable. But over the next few days I have, I think, 3 or 4 other consults scheduled at other places, so we'll see how it goes. There it is. Alright, I just got back from my consultation. I'm squinting right now because they dilated my eyes for the eye exam and everything's super bright right now. Unfortunately, they said that they have some hesitation, some concern about doing LASIK specifically because my eyes are abnormally dry and some of my oil glands have deteriorated a little bit. That doesn't mean I'm completely ineligible. Also, there are alternatives like Smile, which is kind of what I was interested in anyway. And turns out the doctor that they partner with only does LASIK. He doesn't do Smile or other alternatives. So either way, I kind of need to get other opinions from Smile specialists if I want to go down that route. My reactions, I think, it was a little disappointing to hear negative feedback. Obviously, I think if every consultation that I go to tells me, hey, you're a great candidate, I would have had 0 concerns. But, the first one out the gate was not the best. But it is what it is. I have a few more rest of this weekend into early next week. And so trying to get different opinions. And, of course, some of them actually do provide Smile. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm in Midtown East today, heading to my second consultation. This one is at an actual LASIK clinic called New York LASIK. Just found them on Google, and we'll see what they say and if I get any better news today compared to yesterday. Boom. So I also have an appointment here on Monday. Didn't realize they're in the same building, but guess I'll be back. So here are the different types of laser eye surgery or refractive surgery that I've come to learn about. The first one is wavefront optimized LASIK. This seemed like the modern standard for what LASIK is these days. The overall procedure involves a laser creating a flap in your cornea and then reshaping the tissue underneath to correct your vision. It seemed like this is the best choice for most people who have healthy enough eyes and thick enough corneas for surgery. I also learned about a different type of LASIK called LASIK with Contora. And I think Contora is the name of a company, so this might be just marketing and branding, but overall it seemed like a similar process where a flap gets created in your cornea and then the tissue is reshaped. The difference is that with this Contora technique, it creates a topographical map of your eye and measures more of the tiny bumps and imperfections that might exist on the surface. So the claim is that it smooths out your eye a little bit better and has a better chance of preventing unwanted side effects like glares and halos. Contora also seemed like a good option for most people, but it might be optimal for people who have irregularly shaped eyes or really severe astigmatism. PRK. This is the one that I actually know the least about because it came up the least during my consults. There is no flap, and the surgery is done just right on the outside of your eye. I've heard anecdotally from friends who've gotten this that the recovery for PRK fucking sucks. Your eyes are tearing up, they hurt for days after. So why would you get this? Apparently PRK is good for people who have really thin corneas and maybe don't qualify for regular LASIK. Or if you have a really active lifestyle where the flap in regular LASIK might get dislodged, PRK might be the option for you. Smile. So going into this whole process, this is the one that I had been hearing a lot about as the most modern and least invasive type of laser eye surgery. The laser creates a small disc within your eye, and then the surgeon makes a very small incision to pull that disc out. Because there's no flap, I've heard the recovery time is pretty fast, which is probably a big plus for most people, and maybe why it's gotten so popular in recent years. Smile is only available for nearsighted people, so if you're farsighted, unfortunately, you probably won't qualify. You can have astigmatism, but what I've heard is that your results may actually be better with regular LASIK if you have severe astigmatism. ICL. So my girlfriend Tiffany got this procedure a few years ago, and with this one, they actually surgically implant a lens into your eye. So who's it for? People with really strong prescriptions that don't qualify for these other types of laser eye surgeries. She's had no issues with her procedure and is super happy with her vision, but personally, the idea of having a foreign object in my eye kind of freaked me out a little bit.
All right, it's the next day, Saturday morning, heading to my next appointment at TCL Laser Centers. Actually got some good news yesterday at the consultation at New York LASIK, which I'll tell you guys more about in a little bit, but hopefully continue to get good news today. Of course. Okay, so I really like this place. So this was the one that they did a video consultation with me on Tuesday, and then today was like the in-person consult, obviously. They only do LASIK or PRK. They don't offer like Smile or ICL or any of the other ones, but they said I'm a good candidate. They said the cornea is thick enough. I asked them about like dryness because my eye doctor flagged that as a concern. They said they don't see it being too troublesome. Like I'm not like beyond like the standard, I don't know, range or whatever of people with dryness. Yeah. So they said it's okay. I did already tentatively schedule with them for the procedure for April 29th at 4:15 p.m. because they had slots open, and I figured like it's enough time to like reschedule or cancel.
Like think about it.
Yeah,
and
think
stuff.
about it and cancel, right? But I wanted to just like book a time in case it got taken or whatever. What I liked about this place compared to yesterday, right, was like this place. I feel like it felt more legit. Just like the office looked nicer, and like it just looked like a more established practice. The one yesterday, like the doctor was nice and everything, but it just kind of felt like a smaller operation, right? And the staff today was just like really friendly. Like I interacted with like 3 different staff members doing all the procedures, right? They were way more thorough today and did like way more different tests and eye exams compared to the person yesterday. So that was also reassuring.
Yeah. I think like the comfort, like just like how you feel in your gut when you're there, when they're treating you, like everywhere is going to do like similar tests and everything, but it's like in your gut when you feel like you're in good hands is like that's what made the difference when I was looking at different places in California.
Yeah.
It was like just having that gut feeling that you're taken care of.
Yeah.
And like that's just like that whole patient care aspect of it is like what really makes you feel less nervous the day of the procedure, that you're in good hands. And so like I think just like that patient care, patient service part of it, like, is a huge part
Yeah.
of, like, making the decision.
So yeah, I like it.
Cool.
We'll see. I think, I'm still going to go to that one on Monday. I think I'm still going to maybe hit up a couple other places. All right, I'm in Midtown East again for another consult, this time at Kelly Vision Center. I actually just scheduled another one this morning at Manhattan LASIK, so 2 more to go. Kelly Vision Center. All right, one final consult, heading to Manhattan LASIK Center. Originally, I passed on this one because I did a phone consult first, and they typically do their in-person consults and their surgery on the same day, which to me didn't sit well. I wanted some time to have the consult and think about the decision a little bit. So I got back in touch with them. They were willing to split the consult and the surgery into 2 separate days, which I think is a reasonable request. So heading there now for the consult only. So now this is what each of the various clinics recommended for me, along with pricing. Now, look, these are your eyes. I definitely wasn't trying to be cheap or automatically go with the best price, but you do have to consider with some of these newer, more advanced procedures, is this extra cost worth it, or am I just getting sucked into too much of the branding and the marketing? Ultimately, the way I thought about it was all of these procedures are FDA approved, and laser surgery is one of the most common elective procedures in the world. So if a doctor, and especially multiple doctors, approve me for LASIK, I had to trust that it was going to be safe and effective. I think personally I would have been comfortable spending about $6,500 or so, but at the end of the day, I went with one of the cheaper options, which was Wavelight LASIK with TLC. Genie, I wish for amazing, perfect 2020 eyes. All right, today's the day. It's happening. I'm getting LASIK in like an hour, and then I will be able to shoot laser beams out of my eyes, and then I'll lead the X-Men under the name Biclops if all goes well, so wish me luck. When it came down to it, they just made me feel really comfortable and taken care of. They also have this lifetime guarantee, so if I need a touch-up in the future because my vision deteriorates, it's covered. They also didn't take a deposit to schedule my appointment for the procedure, which I found interesting because this meant that I could still shop around over the next few weeks and potentially cancel with them up to the last minute without repercussions. But I wonder if that's just part of their strategy, just to get a procedure on the books, on the calendars, because maybe most people just follow through with it like I did. Kelly Vision Center was a very, very close second for me, and I debated going with Dr. James Kelly. He runs a private practice, so there was a bit more of a personal touch, whereas TLC is one of these LASIK mills where there's kind of a revolving door of people coming in and out. My consultation at Kelly Vision Center was the only one where the surgeon, Dr. Kelly, actually met with me directly, shook my hand, personally answered my questions. I mean, he really was fantastic. I did speak with very professional staff and a doctor at TLC, but I didn't actually get to meet my surgeon until the day of surgery, although I did speak to him over the phone the week before. At the end of the day, what it came down to was, is Contora and that extra personal touch worth $1,000? It was a hard decision, but because I had the procedure already scheduled with TLC, I just followed through with them. Manhattan LASIK, these guys were very professional. They seem like a really well-run operation and clearly handles a very high volume of patients. It also gave kind of a LASIK mill vibe, so if you're looking for a personal touch, maybe go with someone like Dr. Kelly, but personally though, that wasn't a huge factor for me as long as I still felt comfortable. They do specialize in smile here and pushed it on me really hard, so if you specifically know you want smile or you know that it's the best option for you, you may want to consider them as your best bet. Also, the price point came in a little bit over budget for me, but they did say that pricing is dependent on your prescription, so maybe you'll get quoted something lower.
New York LASIK. I thought they were fine. Everyone I met there was super nice. I was a little suspicious about why their ICL was so cheap, but I didn't move forward with ICL anyway, so it didn't really matter. Otherwise, for LASIK, I felt like there just wasn't enough of a differentiating factor for me to choose them over anyone else. Diamond Vision, I only did a phone consult here and got a sense of pricing, but I didn't really follow through with an in-person because I was already so deep in the process and had so many other consults scheduled. I do know someone who got her LASIK done here years ago, and she speaks highly of them, so worth giving them a look. Manhattan Eye also only did a phone consult here. I didn't even get a sense of pricing on that call, but it seemed like a pretty legit private practice run by Dr. Rappaport. She does LASIK, Smile, and ICL, so I appreciated that she probably didn't have a bias towards one procedure over the others, and she does offer all of them. A couple other mentions, Della Russo and Columbia Medical. I had friends who spoke highly about both of these places, and they're both located uptown. If you live in Harlem or Morningside Heights or Upper East or Upper West Side, they may be more convenient for you, but for me, I pretty much stuck to clinics in Midtown only. I have laser eyes. I'll get the call from Disney any day now. So yeah, that's it. My recovery has been super smooth. I had my procedure done Monday afternoon. I came home, took a 3-hour nap, and started using these eye drops that TLC gave me. I started seeing clearly that night, and I went in the following morning for a follow-up, and they confirmed I was already seeing 20/20 vision. I didn't have to take a single day off work, although I did take it easy on Tuesday just to try to give my eyes a little bit more rest from screen time. I'm also taking a few days off from the gym because you don't want to get sweat in your eyes while they're recovering. And I'm taking a month off from Muay Thai because I don't want to get punched in the face and dislodge my flap. Just for this week, also, I have to sleep with these eye covers on my face, which makes me look really stupid, but it is what it is. Otherwise, I'm super happy with this decision. I hope this video was informative and helpful, and if you're considering LASIK, best of luck with your own vision journey. Peace.